Hi, I'm Jan with Academic Technologies. One of the most important skills in any academic environment is learning how to properly cite sources. This ability is critical for the prevention of either accidental or intentional plagiarism, as well as building connections that can give you both credibility and context for any information in your work. Now, there are a lot of different formats that can be used to cite sources for a paper or project, which can easily get confusing. Fortunately, our team in Academic Tech has found a few tools that can help students and faculty alike streamline and organize the citation process. This video will briefly cover one of our favorite tools, Zotero, which has a number of features that can give any academic great flexibility when citing their work. If you have any questions while watching this video, you can reach out to CNU's Academic Tech team or to me directly at jana.doherty@cnu.edu. Zotero has multiple ways users can engage with it, as a downloadable plugin added to your web browser, as an extra tool within Microsoft Word, or as a separate program on your computer. You can get all of these tools by going to your web browser, navigating to www.zotero.org, and clicking Download Now. Keep in mind that no matter what way you prefer to interact, it will depend on you having the downloaded program on your computer. So we should start with the full platform first. Don't worry, I've already installed all of these tools in advance. The program opens into a space known as a library, which is where all of your items and their citations are stored. These items can be browsed through in order to see the citation information on each one. For example, here's an article from the web that was logged earlier about a candy that doesn't cause cavities. We can see all the citation information for this article in the space on the right. You can create multiple libraries for organizational purposes by clicking on the New Library button. But for now, we'll work with just the one that exists. To add an item to this library, click the New Item button up at the top of the program. From here, you can choose the type of item, such as a book or a document. We'll pick the book. This will open up a new citation space on the right, where you can fill in the pertinent information about this source. Let's add our title for The Old Man and the Sea, and we'll put an edition for the 2001 edition. One of the more powerful elements of Zotero is the ability to store a copy of certain types of resources within the library itself. You can do this using the Add Attachment button. Say we have a PDF copy of The Old Man and the Sea that we can add to this. Once we have our item highlighted, we'll click Add Attachment. I'm going to select Add Stored Copy of the file. Here's my copy. Click Open. And now the PDF is attached. As you can see now, we can verify that the attachment is present by the small blue dot shown on the right-hand side of this item. If I right-click this item, I can now view the attached file using the resulting menu related to that item. Now, this library can be used to store all of your sources in one comprehensive place. If you use one of the sources in this library in, say, a research paper, you can then copy the citation as a bibliography entry to be pasted into that paper. To do so, simply right-click on the desired item, then select Create Bibliography from that item. This will open a window that will allow you to choose your citation style, such as Chicago Manual style, as well as your output method. In this case, let's just copy it to the clipboard and then paste it into a Word document. These are the basic functions as shown in the full platform, but as I mentioned, this is not the only way to interact with Zotero. Another method is via the Chrome browser plugin, which can be downloaded and installed at the same location as the full platform. There is also a Firefox version of this browser plugin, but for the sake of brevity, we'll be focusing on Chrome and placing a link for where the Firefox users can find your plugin in the description below. The Zotero plugin, once installed, can be seen as a small icon at the top right of your Chrome browser, like here. This plugin has a single function, yet that function can be incredibly useful when performing online research. When on a given website, say an article in a scientific journal, if I click on the plugin's icon labeled Save to Zotero, it will create a fully cited item in my library. I can even see that indication here. So if I return to Zotero, I'll be able to see my article and an attached copy placed already within my library. The final connection Zotero provides is a direct link to Microsoft Word in the form of another plugin. The process required to install this plugin is a little more complicated, so we'll post an exact list of the steps you need to take below in the description. Once the tool is installed, though, you will see it in Microsoft Word in the form of another tab, the Zotero tab. Opening that tab will show you two tools, one for adding or editing a citation in your work, and the second for adding or editing a bibliography. Let's write a quick sentence that we can add a citation to. When you click Add or Edit Citation the first time, it will open up a window that lets you pick the settings for your citations. In our case, we went with the Chicago Manual of Style and to display those citations as footnotes on the paper. Now that we've chosen those settings, each time we click Add or Edit Citation, this search field will pop up, allowing us to search for items that we can make into footnotes. Now we're referencing a letter from Will White, so let's search for his name. And I can see it here. As you can see, this tool will search through your library for resources that match your search and automatically make citations out of them on your document. This is the kind of tool you would use after performing all of your research and logging useful resources in your library in order to cite them as you use each resource while writing your work. Then, once you're done, you can use the other button, Add or Edit Bibliography, to turn those citations into a complete bibliography with one click. Thank you for joining us on this video on citation tools. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us in Academic Technologies or to me directly at jana.docherty@cnu.edu. Bye!